What is up, guys? It is great to be back at the field. It is a windy day and I got kids over here, but I got something special here. I am redesigning my original F16. It's a completely new design here. This is what I'm going to be doing with my designs. I'm going to be re-releasing the old ones, because whenever I develop new knowledge and new skills and new ideas on how to make 3D printed RC planes better, I am going to do that for free if you've already bought one. So anybody that spent the 10 bucks on this guy, you're going to get this new Generation 2, and it's way better. I printed this one a little bit heavy because I did gyroid, and I think I need to drop the infill down a little bit, but it still has my super awesome, unique, full flying tails. So that is going to be great. If it flies like the old one did, that's going to be awesome. The power system, it's a power fun unit that's been in about 18 planes. It's been crashed a gazillion times, and it's an old ESC, so it feels like it's down on power. It's got like maybe like 0.9 to 1 thrust to weight. So between the wind and that and the full flying tails, it's a little hit or miss. And I'm also working on the CG. So I'm going to put the hat on, and I am going to grab my pen real quick just to note my CG, my current CG. Let's see where we're at. Where are we with the CG? Right here. Okay. So we're right here with the CG. I'm just going to make a quick note. I just need to get a real pen. And let me grab the other side so we have apples to apples. Okay, that's where we're at right now. We're going to throw it up and see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. It could crash. I hope it doesn't crash. Let's see. I don't know, man. It feels really weak. I don't know if I put my 3S fan in here. I don't know if I put my 3S fan. It feels like a 3S. Oh, wow. It's going. And it flies really good. Oh my God, it flies perfect. No way. Oh my God. And it's so weak with this fan. I'm gonna replace the fan this evening. Wow. It's like dead on. Dead on, guys. This thing is like the F16 XL, but just an F16. And these full flying tails, dude, there are no control rods. Seriously, there are no control rods. This thing is so dialed in. You is telepathic, guys. Now listen, there's a reason why I do things, okay? I might be considered a little weird with some of the things that I do, but I glued the symmetrical servo heads into my full flying tail surfaces, okay? That is the way to go with the F16. Look at this. This is my first flight, brand new design, and it's flying better than any F16 I've ever purchased from Hobby King or Motion RC. It is so dialed in, it is telepathic. And I haven't even adjusted anything yet. This is just 40% expo. Now I'm gonna bring it in for a landing because I am very, very unsure about the battery life on this 1300. I'm running a 1300 and we got a lot of wind. I'm gonna actually do one more circuit. Little slow pass here. Look at how much wind. I'm gonna put the other 1300 in. I mean, it is like dead on, guys. Look at this. Look at it. Oh. All right, I'd rather it be the nose than the than the full flying tails. I was scared about digging them in, but you know what? The rates are okay. Where I don't think I'm gonna have a problem with the dig in of the. If you can see it, I'll show you here. If you can see that, that's full down, okay? So you do have a little bit of margin of error. If you're tilted a little bit, I think the wing is gonna hit before that. So I think we're good. Wow guys, I am so impressed. Oh, and this gap here is going to be filled in. I left this gap here on purpose so that, because I'm gonna extend this little flat surface here, a 90-degree surface, just another 1.5 millimeters, 2 millimeters, and that's gonna fill that gap. Beautiful, done deal. Okay, cool. I am so happy about this. It's got a tongue and groove, it's got a magnet. The CG is like dead on. I mean, I don't even know. The F16 CG is always very forgiving. So that is a good thing. And let's get up another 1300 flight, and then I'll fly a 2200. I'm gonna put an X-Fly 50 millimeter with a new modern ESC. The ESC I have in here is just an old school. It's like maybe 8 or 9 years old, and I don't know. I might have run too many amps through it. Maybe I heard it a little bit. Okay, so I'm a little forward on the CG. I wanna have it where it was. Just a tad, just a little tiny bit back. There we go. That's a little bit forward of where I was. All right, that should be good. Let's see here. All right, that looks good. Okay. All right, let's do another one. Look at this wind we have. It's about 18, 19 mile an hour, I think they said it was. So I threw it a little too high last time. Yep. Dude, seriously, man. Now I'm gonna fly it a little quicker. I didn't even have to adjust the rates at all. Wow. I don't even know if I need to replace the fan. Guys, the feeling of having direct servo input is like nothing. I can't even explain it. And you really don't need ailerons. I'm gonna provide you with two options. I'm gonna provide you with an aileron wing. Look at that. It like thrust vectors, guys. It has so much authority because you're directly, there's no slop in there are no push rods. There's no rubber band effect. Unless you have flown a direct connection to a control surface, you do not need to add the weight for the 2 more servos. I'm going to give you the option. I'm going to give you a wing with a servo pocket. I'm going to give you a wing with a servo pocket and ailerons. I'm going to give it to you in case you guys want it, but I'm promising you that you do not need it. Watch this Cobra. Oh my God, it's so good. This is one of the most razor sharp airplanes I've ever flown. I worked probably longer than the Batwing on this airfoil, on this particular one. I wanted it to be so sleek. I'm talking more about thicknesses throughout the whole wing. All right, I'm gonna bring it in because, again, this is a 1300, and I haven't flown the 1300s very much. So, uh-oh, goal. I scored a goal and I didn't hurt it, which is good. All right, so now I'm gonna try the 2200 in here, and hopefully, okay, so now you guys can see how I did this. So I have servo hole provisions for you guys if you want it. You do not need it. I'm telling you. I had this idea. This was my first plane that I ever released, the F16 original, and I did it the same way. The mistake I made with the old one was I followed the real F16's angle of attack. Well, the angle, it was basically the rear control surfaces were angled down there, and that's how they are supposed to be on the real plane. Does it affect it in RC scale negatively if you don't do that? Absolutely not, because I just flew it and it flies great. So let me start by saying I line them up with the wing and with the body, so you wouldn't have that if you come in 10 degrees bank this way, that right control surface is going to get mangled, and it's going to rip it right off the plane. For the most part, I was able to fly it many times. I mean, my F16 that I made, the first one I made, I flew it like 15-20 times before I ripped an elevator off of it, so that was no problem. This is going to be even less of a problem. All right, so here is I got my 2400 2200 SMC with the canopy on. It should balance better. Let's see how it handles the heavier load. Kind of like the real F16. It was designed to be, the Viper was designed to be a dogfighting machine, and it still is today. It'll beat an F-35 in a straight up dogfight when it's clean. So it is probably the best dogfighting aircraft. We don't have a lot of data. I mean, yeah, we have data on the MiG-29, but I don't know if anyone has ever said if the MiG-29 is better than this, but I think the F-16 is the best. It has the best minimum turn radius I've ever seen. And guys have timed minimum turn radius from air shows, and the F-16 wins everything, even over an F-22. So pure dogfighting, this is what you want. But now it's like a strike aircraft with, like, it has huge drop tanks all over it. So anyway, the whole reason why I said that is because we're going to see his heavy lift capability with with the 2400 2200. All right, so I'm going to come over here a little bit more and get this guy chucked. Oh, easy! 2400! Wow! Now, let's go some full speed burner passes. Now let's see how it handles full back. Oh, and that was my Spectrum issue. I don't like Spectrum radios. I'm switching to a Radio Master. I got a Radio Master. I have it. I'm just waiting for a couple other pieces. The transmitter module, and oh wow, this thing is really agile. And it reminds me of the old one. Yeah, I got to put the X-Fly unit in this to get a little more power. Super easy to launch. Rolls great. Let's watch it stop in the wind. High alpha? Will it high alpha, guys? I don't know. Will it? I haven't seen a tip stall yet. It's taking a little while to get chugging because it's I believe it's the ESC is slowing it down. It will slow fly. Look at that, and it does not tip stall. So good. This thing is so good, and it's so windy. I don't like flying 50s in the wind, but this is an exception. Wow, you guys are going to be so happy if you bought my V1 and were a little underwhelmed. This one looks way more like an F16, and it flies absolutely incredible. This was from conception. It just worked well. Everything about it. Let's do a high speed. Yeah, the roll rate, you don't want anything else, guys. You don't need it. Let's stall it out. Stalling. Stalling. Yep, it just drops its nose. That's it. That's all it does. Unbelievable plane. I am so happy. I'm happy for everybody that bought one, because I'm trying to make you guys happy. So if it means that I have to go back to the drawing board and I see, oh man, this old design is just like so dated, and like the new methods and techniques that I have can just really make this thing so much better, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna actually do it for you. So I'm gonna do one more circuit. Slow it down. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm going to attack the Mirage next. So in between my new releases, like, I don't know, let's say like, let's see if I can get this guy in here without having to add any more throttle. Wow, it really glides. Rather than releasing new, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a new plane and then re-release like the Mirage. And when I re-release the Mirage, it's gonna have full ducting all the way down to the fan. So you're gonna get, you know, 95%, whatever, of the efficiency. This thing is really strong too. So you wanna know what took me the longest time on this plane? Was this right here. So that angle and curvature and the wall thickness and the little trickery that I did with this allows this thing to dig in, to belly land, to do all these things without having an issue on the lip braking. Because I had a lot of old planes, especially the V1 or the V3, whatever I called it, F16, had issues with it breaking the lip, and the J10 and things like that. I have revised the J10 a bit to accept a thicker bump there, so that's a little bit forward. So I got I literally, like, I can see in my head CGs on airplanes. It's weird. I didn't even look back to my old F16 to see where that was, because my strake is different. The control surfaces I brought forward a little bit so they would have less chance of digging in. There's so many things that I changed. And the fuselage acts differently. Sometimes fuselages, sometimes the front of the fuselage will provide more lift. That's why I put the shape that I did in the bottom. It's going to provide a little bit more lift than the other one. So long story short, I did a lot of things that are going to keep this alive for a long time, where you guys don't have to, like, you crack something and you have to redo something. So hopefully before I run out of battery on my actually, you know what, I'm going to check real quick to make sure I have enough. I have 19 minutes of recording left on my head. I hope the angle's right on my camera, because when I pulled my camera out, it was completely wonky on the clip. It was like pointing down, so I had to readjust the angle. Ready? Oh, see, that was a bad throw, but it just goes straight. It's fantastic, guys. Viper. I love the F16. I think it's probably the sexiest 4th gen. I mean, the MiG is sexy, and all the other planes they have their spot in my heart, like, you know, but the F16 is just the sexiest plane ever. I can't wait until I'm running the Radio Master and my sticks are more centered and have a stronger spring, where I can actually, like, keep a minimum radius turn straight and flat and level, where I can just bank and yank straight back like that. But now I'm cocked to the right. Yes, sir. This thing is really good, guys. Really good. It's so smooth. Oh man, guys. See, I'm getting comfortable. Usually the third or fourth flight, I get comfortable where I can start doing air shows. All right, let's see what we got. See what we got. That's how easy it is to hand launch. I stopped it and then I let it fall forward with the throttle on. Uh-oh. Having an issue. Yep. Okay, so my battery was dying and I did not have enough thrust, but I probably killed the battery, unfortunately. I'm going to buckle this thing up and I'm going to walk towards the plane. I definitely saved it because it landed, but I knew it when I was giving it full throttle and it wasn't climbing, and I could hear it in the pitch that the battery was pretty much sagging to the point where it was just dying. And I knew that what that means is you have like 3 seconds of half throttle. And I was like, can I make it? And I'm like, nope, I can't make it. And then the wind caught it, so then, I don't know, whatever, but the plane's fine. So that is more than enough for me to say this plane is damn good. It is actually amazing. And I'm gonna release it. All you guys are gonna get an email. If you've already bought, look for your Colts emails. If you bought a V3 F16, you're gonna get this one. I'm gonna put it in the file section, and it's a re-release, and you guys get it for free. So yeah, it's look, I got a lot of people that doubt my methods, and I understand that. I failed on a few things, but the best part on an aircraft is no part if you don't need it. If you don't need ailerons, why do you need ailerons if your roll rate is perfect and you have enough elevator authority to Cobra? And like, why do you need to add the weight of the 2 9-gram servos plus push rods plus control horns plus, you know, the glue, like the servo extensions? Why? Like, because you want to be scale. Okay, fine. If you want it to be scale-ish or more scale and you want to rock the ailerons, I'm going to provide them. A lot of guys, oh, that's not strong enough. That's not, is it strong enough? Print this a little bit heavier. Print it a little bit heavier. What do I tell you? And what's cool about this is if one of these gets ripped off on a landing, it usually pops off of, you can't break that. It's very difficult to break the head on the servo, that symmetrical head. So if this thing rips off, take some pliers, pull off whatever material stuck on there, and reprint 2 of these. Keep them in your box and keep your CA glue. You can keep flying all day long. That's not going anywhere. This is, you know, the only slop in this control surface, right here, look, can you see the slop? The only slop is the gears, the teeth in the gears. If I ran a control rod, you got slop between the push rod and the control horn. You have slop between the push rod and the servo arm. You have bowing in the 1.2 millimeter. So look, I get it. There's a lot of purists out there that have issues with what I do. I don't rock wing spars, okay? Have I ever broken a wing on one of my planes? Ever? Absolutely not. I would tell you if I have. I have not broken a wing unless I crash the plane. I don't see a reason to follow conventional wisdom when I see better ways of doing things. It just, you know, and this is a perfect example. There's no wing spar on this wing. I don't have a wing spar in any of my designs, and they don't need them, because that's the cool thing about 3D printing, is that when you print gyroid, first of all, gyroid's freaking strong. Like, you're not breaking a gyroid wing. There's no way. It's not happening at 3%, even 2%. I printed these by accident in grid at 3%. You print it, you print your grid, you print the wing like this on the bed, and it just prints up. The triangles are this way. They're literally spars inside the wing. And I've never had a wing break. those tail surfaces are going to be great unless they hit a chunk of grass and they rip off. If I'm landing on an angle, like, and I'm going high alpha and I have full right elevator and full pitch to the right, and then it just happens to dig in and it rips it off, okay, then it might rip it off. But look, this thing's awesome. I hope you guys like the video. I like to ramble. I like to not shut up sometimes, but I get excited when things happen like this, and a plane is so perfect. This is like, I don't know, it's like my dream F16, and it just happened. So yeah guys, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. If you have not picked up the OG F16, I would suggest picking it up, because the files will be available on my Colts page later today. So hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you next time.